Okay, Benson, let's get these blast doors open and find out what the hell it was all these people died for.
Acknowledged, Commander. Please proceed with caution.
Hey, when have I not? Actually, don't answer that. Seeing that, I'd better take cover just in case. So far it just looks like a tunnel up ahead. I'm guessing this will lead us to the underground dig site. Even so, I'll have to be careful, just in case there's any more of those things in here. Now, the only problem is that the underground dig site was directly below the original one that was attacked, which was on the side of that mountain and was several kilometers away. Yeah, this could be a long walk. Aha, what's this? A cargo dolly. And some cargo containers, but most importantly, a people carrier. That looks pretty dark and dangerous up ahead. I was hoping for a train or something, but this vehicle should suffice. Yeah, it's really just a passenger version of the one that I used at the spaceport. And hopefully it won't be too far to drive to this dig site. Okay, let's get going. I do have to admit that I am a little nervous, as I have no idea what to expect up ahead. I just hope it's worth all this mess. I hate to think that all these people died for some twisted take on Pandora's box that was found in the middle of some worthless alien ruins, but I've got a feeling there's more to it than that. Likewise, I can't help but feel that there's some sort of link between what's been going on here and the Thalyar. Whether they're involved directly or not is something that I'm hoping I'll get the chance to find out. Well, it looks like I'm about to find out. That could be the dig site up ahead.
Danger, Commander Robertson. Hostile drone detected.
Shit! Copy that, Ben. If it opens fire, I'm taking it out. Son of a bitch. I wasn't expecting that. Luckily the damn thing missed. It looks like the road's taken most of the damage. There's a good chance its sensors were messed up. Probably due to lack of maintenance. What is this up ahead though? Is that the alien ruins? I'm guessing it must be, as this part here seems to look man-made, like it's been bored through the rock. It doesn't look like there's any more of those Gatling bots around, so I'll take this vehicle up and turn it around. Yeah, that's definitely the alien ruin over there. There's even a makeshift bridge connecting the dig site to it. It looks intact, so I'm not sure it's accurate to call it a ruin. More like an existing alien structure. Right, let's get out and take a closer look at this thing. I'll take those uranium rods left over from that Gatling bot first though. Those might come in useful later on. There appears to be what looks like active power conduits running down the outside of this thing, which suggests that whatever's inside is still receiving power. There also appears to be a chasm between the dig site and the alien structure. I can't tell how deep it is though, but I'm guessing it extends all the way into the mountain itself. Yeah, it must be pretty deep. My flashlight doesn't even hit the top or the bottom of the chasm. And I'm certainly not going to use my jetpack to find out. I would have preferred a sturdier bridge though. Ah, Benson, what's your analysis of those symbols up ahead? Can you translate them?
Negative, Commander. While some of these symbols appear similar to those used by the Thalyar, this particular language is significantly more complex. I require more examples of the base language in order to get an accurate translation.
Copy that, Ben. There doesn't seem to be a control panel or any other way to get inside, so I'm going to head back to the dig site to see if there's anything there that can help us. Yeah, this just looks like a temporary accommodation for the workmen, along with some bunk beds and a table. Nothing much else of interest here, but there are some logs being displayed on screen. I'll take a quick look to see if there's anything useful on them. From Professor R. Hansen to Dr. K. Goldberg. This is truly amazing. If our findings are correct, then this alien structure predates our own civilization by many hundreds of thousands of years. Even the symbols, which I can only assume is their language, is like nothing we've ever seen before. There can be no doubt that it's the source of all those greenhouse gases we detected, and given that the structure appears to extend deeper into the planet itself, suggests that my earlier theory of what this thing is could be true. If only we could find a way in. I'm positive we found an entrance of sorts, but there doesn't seem to be a switch or control panel to allow us access inside. Maybe I'm missing something. Whatever the case, the Governor and Fernandez have asked me to return to the lab immediately, as apparently they found something else they want us to look at. What could be more important than this? I suppose I'll see you soon, Professor Ralph Hansen. Ah, this must be the message previous to the one we saw back at the lab. It looks like he ran into the same problem we did with getting into the structure. Okay, what does this next one say? From Foreman G. Abasanjo to J. Smythe. Apologies, sir, but I must inform you that we lost the TBM-13 excavator this morning. The member of staff driving it claims that they lost control and it began accelerating under its own power before crashing through the safety barrier and falling into the abyss between the dig site and the ruins. Luckily, the driver managed to get out shortly before it went over the edge. Otherwise, I'd be filling out a fatal accident report right about now instead. Sir, I understand you're probably upset. Those tunnel boring machines ain't cheap. But my people are tired. We've been working around the clock and there's been no sign of the bonus you promised us. What's worse is that some of my staff have reported seeing things moving in the dark near the ruins, and 2 of my guys appear to have gone missing. Maybe you should send some of those soldiers down here instead of that useless flying Gatling robot thing. At the very least, it'll give us all a bit more peace of mind. Well, a TBM-13 excavator. That explains how they managed to dig these tunnels, as well as where it went. I'm betting those nanites we detected had something to do with the guy losing control of it and it crashing through the barrier into the chasm below. As interesting as all this is, it doesn't really help us. I'll head back to the entrance again and take another look around. Maybe, like the professor said, we're just missing something. Whoa, this is strange. Whenever I look at these symbols, they just seem familiar, and I keep getting flashbacks of that monolith we found in Alpha Centauri. What's going on? What the hell just happened there?
Caution, Commander. We have just been scanned. However, I am unable to determine the point of origin.
Yeah, and it caused these doors to open. That almost felt like some sort of mind scan. But how on earth did they...
Commander, I have just received a message from an unknown source. It's in 5 different languages, 4 of which are unfamiliar, but one appears to be a slightly more complex variation of failure.
Are you able to translate it, Ben?
Affirmative, Commander. The closest translation to your own language would be the word, welcome.
Well, that does sound promising, but why did it let us inside and not the others? And who or what built this place, and why? Well, there's another door up ahead. Maybe we'll find out once we get further inside. I don't know if pressing this will work, but here goes. Whoa, it's one of those robot sentinel things. Except for some reason it doesn't seem to be attacking. Maybe it doesn't consider me hostile. Either that or it's broken down. But wow, look at this place. I'm guessing this must be some sort of control center. Oh, what the heck are those? Are those nanites, Benson?
That is correct, Commander. They appear to be concentrated clusters of nanites contained inside some form of energy field.
They all seem to be going in and out of this thing, which I'm guessing is what's controlling or creating them. This is incredible. This sort of technology is at least 100 years ahead of anything we could ever dream of creating right now, possibly even more. Yeah, this thing's definitely offline, otherwise it'd be trying to eviscerate me right now, eh? Yeah, I'd better not tempt fate, huh? Scary looking bastard though, I'll give it that. I haven't got a clue what any of these symbols mean, and Ben doesn't have enough data to translate it yet. I need to find something resembling an actual console. I have no idea what that floating obelisk is either. Some sort of supercomputer maybe? Whatever it is, it looks pretty cool, but I'm sure it does have some actual function I'm just not aware of yet. Oh hey, I recognise these. Those look like schematics for our friend over there. I don't need to understand the language to realise that. At least this pretty much confirms that the robot sentinels didn't belong to the pirates. Now this one's interesting. It looks like a drawing of the structure and the mountain around it. I'm not quite sure what it's trying to tell us though. Power output maybe? Again, that's just speculation at this stage, as I can't read what it's telling me and I'm still not sure as to what the structure actually does. I do have my suspicions though. Ah, now this looks like a control panel of sorts. Benson, are you able to access this and download the data needed to translate the alien language and what these controls actually do?
Unknown, Commander. I can attempt to access the system, but the probability of success is uncertain.
Copy that, Ben. Proceed. Whoa, I didn't actually mean to do that. That looks like a holographic display of some kind of ocean world, but I'm seeing islands dotted around that appear to have vegetation on them. Ben, what's your analysis of this world? Is this on any of our charts?
Yes, Commander. The holographic display in front of you is showing our current planet, Terra Nova, with significantly elevated sea levels.
That's insane. The sheer amount of extra water or ice needed to do that would be mind-boggling. I'm curious now. I want to see what else is on this thing. Oh look, it's a holographic projection of a friend again. That doesn't surprise me though, as they're probably manufactured somewhere in this place. Maybe even by the nanites themselves. And given the fact that those things and the nano-virus only started to appear after the pirates attacked the dig site, suggests that this structure was only trying to defend itself. There we go, that's it back to normal again. Ben, have you had any luck translating the alien language yet?
Commander, I can report that I have successfully translated approximately 85% of the alien language, but the remaining 15% is proving difficult due to the complexity involved.
That's okay, that should be good enough. So, what can you tell me about this place, Ben? What is its purpose?
Commander, there is a 97% probability that this installation is an advanced form of planetary atmosphere processor.
You mean it's a terraforming device?
Affirmative, Commander.
Well, I'll be damned. That not only confirms my earlier suspicions, but it pretty much explains everything we've seen so far. Especially with regards to the nanites and the greenhouse gases. Benson, we need to stop this place from killing any more people. How do I shut it down?
Commander, pressing the leftmost button on the control panel nearest the door should put the facility into an idle state.
I just did that, but nothing's happening, Ben. Please advise.
Apologies, Commander. It appears as though you do not have the authorization to use that function.
Damn it. Is there any other way to stop this thing?
Yes, Commander. There is a flaw in the system that allows us to remove the safeguards currently in place. This will cause the systems to overload and the facility to become critical within approximately 2 minutes and 15 seconds.
You mean this place will blow up?
That is correct, Commander.
That seems a little extreme, but if I do destroy this place, it means that none of those pirates or greedy corporate goons will get their hands on this alien technology. But I'll be damned if I let it all go to waste. Benson, download all the information you can on this terraforming technology.
Acknowledged.
I also need to get a message out to both the Marshal and the CDF. Is there a way to do that from here, Ben?
Yes, Commander. It's the second button on the large spherical control panel. Be advised that this method of communication is not secure.
Understood. Thanks, Benson. Attention to all CDF and TCA forces. The source of the quarantine on Terra Nova is an alien nanovirus caused by an ancient terraforming device taking measures to defend itself. I have gathered data on the alien device and I am about to destroy it, which will neutralize the nanovirus and make the planet safe for human colonization again. I will give a full report once I return to my vessel. This is the captain of the Valiant, out. Well, I hope they managed to get that, cause I'm not repeating myself again. Okay, Benson, let's do this. How do we start the self-destruct sequence on this place?
Commander, I have already made preparations. All that is required is for you to press the topmost button on the large spherical control panel to begin the procedure.
Copy that. Pressing now. Oh, shit. Well, I guess there's no turning back now. In fact, I better get out of here. And fast. Oh, crap, this is not good. It's like running the gauntlet. Whoa, you gotta be kidding me. Huh? Ah, good grief. Come Come on, you slow piece of crap. We gotta get out of here. Out of curiosity, Ben, since I forgot to ask, but will this CDF base we're going to actually be far enough away from the explosion to be safe?
Unknown, Commander. I have insufficient data.
Really? That's your answer? Oh well, I guess we'll find out soon enough, won't we?
Commander, we have an incoming transmission from the Valiant.
Ah, that'll be our friend the Marshal. Put him through.
Captain Jones, this is Marshal Gordon. You've got something. Marshal Gordon, now. You have to get out of there fast. Over.
Marshal Gordon, this is Captain Jones. You're breaking up. Say again, over. I repeat, this is Captain Jones to Marshal Gordon. Do you read me? Over. Ah, damn it. There's just too much interference. I couldn't make out a damn thing he was saying. It did sound like he was trying to warn me about something. Yeah, probably the fact that the mountain right next to me was exploding. Yeah, what he doesn't know is that I had a front row seat for all that. Oh well, no worries. I'll see him again soon enough. Right, let's get these blast doors closed quickly. Whoa, and there goes the alien atmosphere processor. It really was a shame I had to destroy it, but it was for the best. Whoa, what the hell was that, Ben? A secondary explosion? Debris?
Negative, Commander. That was a shape-charged warhead. This installation is under attack.
Under attack? Who by? Quickly, Benson, open a channel to the Valiant.
Apologies, Commander. I am unable to comply. All communications are down.
All comms? Even the Wyvern? Oh, that's not good. Copy that, Benson. I'm heading upstairs to take a look.
Acknowledge, Commander. I would advise extreme caution.
Got it. Thanks, Ben. But before I head up, I'm just going to make sure that this place is secure again. We don't want to make it too easy for any hostile attackers, do we? I'll go and take a look via the west checkpoint, since it's the closest, and see what the hell's going on up there. Damn, that explosion we caused kicked up a lot of dust. The Wyvern! No! What the hell?
Oh, I know you're down there, yeah. We got your message, and our boss ain't happy.
Pirates.
You got nowhere to run,
Bastards.
so just come out now and give us everything you got, and I promise I won't kill you, yeah.
Yeah, like that's ever going to happen. Damn it, that VTOL was my ticket out of here. Well, I guess I'll have to improvise. There was that armoured car in the garage below. I could try and use that. But first I'll need to get these gates open. I wonder if they'll notice. Shit, they noticed. Time to get the hell out of here. Now, I should be able to gain access to the armoured car easily, but I remember one of the earlier logs saying that it had no fuel, which means that it's a good thing I took some from that Gatling bot's wreckage earlier. The hard part will be trying to escape from that pirate vessel. It looked like a converted TCT-556 freighter with extra guns, and those things were designed to be able to fly in an atmosphere, which means they'll be able to follow me anywhere. And I'll more than likely be completely outgunned. Okay, this thing's backup reactor should be right underneath it, just behind the connector. Yeah, there it is. Okay, let's get this thing fueled up. The thing about the TCT-556 freighters is that they had a tendency to bunch their atmospheric thrusters together, so if I'm really lucky I might be able to get a few hits on them while I escape. It might not take them down, but it could certainly slow them down enough or force them to burn up hydrogen instead, which means I could be in with a chance to escape. That's providing they don't turn this vehicle into scrap first. Well, the bastards did tell me to come out and give them everything I've got, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. Ah, damn it, my left wheel's stuck. I need to try and get this thing free. Nice one. Take that, you bastards.
We'll rip your heart out, you motherfucker.
Okay, now let's get the hell out of here. This thing's taken more than enough punishment. Yeah, it's trailing smoke. A lot of my weapons have taken damage. And I've lost one of the Gatling guns at the front. No big loss, but still. But hey, at least I got out of there in one piece, which is more than I can say for their ship. The only thing is that even if they can't repair it and give chase, they still might have vehicles or drones in sight that they can use to try and track me, so I'll need to put as much distance between us as I can before I take a look at the damage I've taken. I'm just checking my logs again. What was the name of that vessel? The Bloody Constraint. With a name like that, you can tell it belongs to pirates. My guess is that was the pirate vessel that entered into orbit earlier. Their captain said they heard my message, which means they must have known it was safe to come down here to try and stop me. Well, that was the risk of sending what was essentially a message to the entire star system. I just hope the Marshal and the CDF heard it as well. I am almost finished doing some emergency repairs. I have had to cannibalize some existing parts of this vehicle in order to repair others, as it didn't have any spares in storage. Right now I'm focusing on putting out these bloody fires before something important goes boom. Right, that didn't work. I might actually have to grind this thing down a little. There we are. It ain't pretty, but at least the fire's out. I'll just unload all these components before I continue on my journey. Now, losing the Wyvern has indeed been a setback, but as fate would have it, I happen to know exactly where to find another aerospace craft that I can use, providing I've kept the GPS coordinates, that is. Ah, I have. Excellent. The Zoe family countryside retreat is just under 35 kilometers away. Once I'm past these mountains, it shouldn't take me too long to get there. I'm guessing maybe around 30 to 45 minutes, depending on the terrain, of course. Aha, I just realised we have a working antenna on this thing. That means I can finally get in touch with the Marshal. What I need to do is switch the antenna on and extend the range to maximum. Hopefully that should work. This is Captain Jones to Marshal Gordon aboard the Valiant. Do you read me? Over.
Captain, this is Marshal Gordon. What the bloody hell is going on down there? Are you alright?
Marshal, I ran into your pirate friends and lost the Wyvern but managed to get away. I'm currently en route to an alternative evac. Are there any other threats up there?
Negative, Captain. At least not yet. Captain, I have some questions for you.
Sorry, Marshal, not now. I'll explain later once I see you in person. Captain Jones, out. I don't mean to be abrupt with our old ally up there, it's just I don't really have time to answer all his questions right now. I just needed to know that there weren't any more surprises waiting for me in orbit, and that I wasn't at risk of being shot down whilst flying back to the Valiant. To be honest, I think I've had enough surprises for one day. On a more positive note, however, it doesn't look like I've been followed. Which is good. I'm hoping they either lost track of me, or gave up, or just didn't try to follow me to begin with, which should make the rest of this journey fairly easy. Especially now that there's no more killer robots or zombies going around. Or at least I am assuming so, Ben. Please tell me that was the only atmosphere processor on this world, and that by destroying it I did indeed deactivate the Sentinels and Nanites?
Affirmative, Commander.
Oh, thank goodness. I just needed to check, as I'd hate to have looked foolish when I just pretty much told everyone it was safe here again.
Danger, danger, Commander Robertson. I have detected an enemy drone approaching us fast on our 6 o'clock.
Copy that, Benson. I see him. It looks like a scout drone. Engaging. Got it. It's going down. I better switch these turrets off, see if I can salvage something from it. It looks like it was just the one. I'm not seeing any more out there. The bloody constraint most likely only has 2 of these things at the most, and I doubt he'd be foolish enough to send another one after me now. But even so, I need to stay sharp. There's not much of it left, but there is one small reactor remaining. I'll try and see if I can get the uranium out of it. $2.5 kilograms. It's not much, but it's better than nothing. Nah, there's nothing else I really need from this. Best I just continue with our journey. We've got just over 22 clicks left to go, but the terrain is a lot more easy going now, so barring any more interruptions, we should be there within the next half hour or so. In fact, our current course will take us within visual distance of the Avalon colony. It'll be good to see the place again, even from afar. I have cannibalized a few more components so that I can fully repair the forward Gatling gun. I most likely will never need to use it, but at least it's working now just in case I do. Our destination is only 13 kilometers away now, and we should be within sight of Avalon colony fairly soon as well. There's been no sign of any more pirate drones, which is good. It looks like they've finally seen sense. In fact, there's the colony just over there, and the spaceport. You know, it actually looks quite picturesque from up here. It's strange. It's only been a day or two since I arrived on this world, but it feels like I've been here for almost a week. I guess a lot has happened since I arrived. At least I can finally report back to Mr. Twain about what really happened down here now that my investigation has more or less concluded. It's still sad to think about all those poor innocent colonists that lost their lives, all because of the greed, ignorance and stupidity of a handful of people with power and authority. Well, I guess some things never change. And what's even more tragic is now that the alien terraforming device has been destroyed, this planet will slowly revert back to being a lifeless dead rock. Unless... Benson, given our current technology, would it be possible for us to reverse engineer that alien atmosphere processor from the data we took and build something similar ourselves? Obviously without the nanites and robot sentinels.
Yes, Commander. It would be possible to replicate the device to some extent, but I estimate that such a device would only be approximately 15 to 20% as effective as the original.
Yes, Ben, but it could still be done, correct?
Affirmative, Commander.
Ha! Brilliant! Well, it looks like things may not turn out so bad after all. We're getting close now. Our destination is on that hill on the other side of the valley ahead of us. There's still been no sign of further pursuit, so it looks like the pirates have given up, at least for now. But something tells me we've not seen the last of them. Their buddies, along with their leader, are still somewhere out there in space, just waiting for their chance to attack. I'd like to think that they wouldn't be foolish enough to attack a heavy cruiser like the Valiant, but if they've got enough ships of their own, or if they're desperate enough to get their hands on the data we've got, then they might just do it. And if that's the case, I'd rather be up there helping defend my ship than stuck down here watching the fireworks above. We're almost there. The Zoe countryside retreat is just over that next rise, and if we're lucky, Marshal Madison's AC-10 Warhawk should still be there too. Preferably untouched by any zombies or robot sentinels. Yeah, I'd rather not have to rebuild the damn thing. There it is. It's looking good so far. Sorry, Marshal, but I'm afraid I need to borrow your spacecraft. Not that you're going to need it anymore, obviously. You know, I really do hope that poor bugger gets a proper burial after all this, along with everybody else, of course. Okay, time to see if this thing's actually space-worthy. Starting APU, fingers crossed. We've still got power, and all the onboard systems look alright. That's a good start. I'll just change these waypoints around. I don't need the current one, just the orbital one now. All thrusters check. The thing is, I've never actually flown one of these particular types of craft before, so I'm just being careful. All batteries are working fine, 82% power. I'll just check the reactor to see what the fuel situation is like. Ah, plenty. Landing clamps disengaged. Looking good so far. Now I'll just quickly check the exterior cameras. Yep, they're looking good. Okay, let's take off. It feels a little sluggish, but that's no surprise considering that it's been sitting idle for so long. That should do us. Time to rotate the thrusters and put this thing into fast mode. Yeah, I know the technical term is aerospace mode, but hey, it's been a long day, and you know what? I can call it whatever the hell I want. I am impressed though, this thing is fast. And it has surprisingly good acceleration for a hybrid craft. It doesn't quite have the kick of a hydrogen-powered spacecraft, but a thing like this will definitely have superior operational endurance. And if memory serves me right, having short legs and poor armour was the main issue people had with the Saturn VTOL, which was the technology demonstrator that this craft was based on. I do like the improvements they've made though. Time to wave farewell to Avalon Colony, and indeed to Terra Nova. I will have to say it's been an interesting visit. What puzzles me still is who the aliens were that built that terraforming device. It's clear that they weren't the Thalia, as despite one or two similarities, the technology in a whole looked completely different from theirs, and was slightly more advanced. Did it belong to the precursors, the ancient beings that the Thalia called the Great Creators? Maybe, although from what I recall, Councillor Zorak mentioned the Great Creators as having technology that was thousands of years ahead of even what we encountered down there. What's your analysis, Ben?
Unknown, Commander. But according to the data we gathered, the Atmosphere processor was constructed approximately 9,000 years before the Thalia experienced contact with the beings they knew as the Great Creators.
Good grief.
And given the similarities in the languages used by both races, it is highly likely that it was constructed either by the Great Creators during an earlier period in their technological development, or by another race that came into contact and were influenced by them.
Well, Benson, that certainly is food for thought, and might even explain why the precursors told the Thalia it was off limits. Maybe they were trying to preserve what was left of it, or maybe it was just an experiment that they just left running for whatever reason. I guess the only ones that really know the truth are now long gone. And more's the pity, as I'd have liked to have asked them why they made this world so similar to our own homeworld of Earth. I mean, the similarities are just too close to be mere coincidence. Anyway, at least something positive came out of all this though, as we now have data on their terraforming technology. All I've got to do now is make sure it gets into the right hands. Well, that's us out of the atmosphere now. Time to switch off the air-breathing engines and let the ion thrusters take us the rest of the way into orbit. Thankfully, it won't be long before I'm back on board the Valiant and can finally relax a little. Who would have thought that when I started this assignment I'd be up against sodding space pirates and zombies? Speaking of space pirates, Benson, has the Valiant detected any other potentially hostile spacecraft in our immediate vicinity?
Negative, Commander. There does not appear to be anything on our short-range sensors other than your current vessel. I am, however, detecting multiple thermal signatures appearing and disappearing at random locations in the asteroid belt and outer planets of the star system.
Yeah, that sounds like it could be pirate vessels. One of their tactics is not to stay in any one place for too long, otherwise they risk being intercepted. So, as a group, they'll all jump to random locations in the most remote or cluttered part of the star system. As long as they're far away from here, then they won't be a threat to us as we come in to dock with the Valiant. There we go. I can stop accelerating now as we've gained enough velocity to take us into orbit. We can just coast the rest of the way there until it's time for the deceleration burn. We're so high up now that you can barely make out Avalon Colony, all the way down there next to that lake. Just to confirm, Benson, the Valiant will recognise this craft as being friendly, won't it?
Yes, Commander. TC-8 vessels have already been added as a friendly on the IFF database.
Thanks, Ben. Just double-checking. I didn't want our investigation to come to an embarrassingly tragic end due to a friendly fire mishap. Okay, we're close enough to the Valiant now that I can probably just remove this waypoint. Right, time to open the hangar bay doors.
Commander, Marshal Gordon has requested to speak with you in person once you are back on board.
Yeah, I was kind of expecting he would. Copy that, Ben. Tell the Marshal to meet me in the hangar after I've docked and the bay has been pressurised.
Acknowledged.
Now, there should be room for this one in there too, but what the hell's the deal with these damn spotlights? Damage, maybe? I'll go out on EVA and check them, because that's just annoying. Ah, yes, they're flashing in red and blue because it's a TCA Marshal's craft, of course. What can I say, it's been a long day. Oh hey, I wonder, does this thing have flashing lights on top too? It does! Brilliant! Anyway, enough messing around. I'd better get this thing in the hangar quickly. I can imagine that Marshal Gordon isn't the kind of fellow that likes to be kept waiting. That reminds me, Benson, can you upload all the audio and video footage from my suit's camera onto the Valiant so that both I and the Marshal can review it later?
Acknowledged, Commander.
Yeah, no sweat. This craft fits in here perfectly. There we go. Yep, I'm happy with that. I love how small these things are compared to the Wyvern. Anyway, that's it shut down. Now it's time to close these hangar doors. Any second now. Perfect. Now let's get this hangar pressurized. I'm pretty sure that alarm should have turned off by now. The doors are closed, the hangar's pressurised. It's probably a glitch. I might have to go back into the settings and change the timer again. Oh, now it decides to stop. About bloody time. Oh, hi Marshal. I hope you don't mind, I had to borrow one of your TCA Warhawks to get back here.
Yes, welcome back, Captain Jones. Or should I say, Commander Robertson.
Ah, so you figured it out, huh? Tell me, what gave me away?
You don't become a TCA Marshal and live to my age if you're not a good detective, Commander. Besides, your associate Mr. Twain and I have been in contact, and we've had a very interesting discussion.
Yes, I'm sure you have. Listen, I apologise for the deception, Marshal, as I came here undercover in order to investigate, and that I did. As you no doubt heard from the message, I found the cause of the nano-virus, how it came about, and promptly dealt with it. In fact, I just transferred everything recorded from my suit's camera to the Valiant, so you can review it whenever you like.
That I will, Commander. And if what you say is true, then I'll order an official retraction of the quarantine notice, pending a full investigation and verification by my peers in the authority. Did I hear you correctly when you said that aliens were involved? Is this something we should be worried about? It's bad enough that we've got pirates to deal with. The last thing we need is an invasion by little green men.
Thankfully not. The structure, or rather the device we encountered down there, was a leftover piece of technology from a race that's been gone for a very long time. I don't think they'll be bothering anyone again, unless of course we run into another one of these things elsewhere. But the question is, Marshal, now that you know who I am, what do you intend to do? I am, after all, a wanted man back in the Sol system, more so since I broke out of a high-security prison on Mars.
Aye, a fugitive you are, and as much as I'd like to take you and put your criminal arse back in a shell, I've been asked to hold off for now, as the powers that be feel that you could be of service to us. I believe they'll be contacting you shortly. In the meantime, if you'll excuse me, I need to review your video footage and discuss the situation with my superiors.
Of course, Marshal. I'll speak to you later. Oh, and thanks.
Don't thank me yet, Commander.
Fair enough. And there I was, thinking we were beginning to bond. Anyhow, I better get back up to the cockpit. I've got things to do. I have to admit that it is good to be back though. Benson, do you have anything new to report?
Affirmative, Commander. You have received one new hyperpulse message from the General, Stephen Maddox, of the Colonial Defense Forces. Would you like me to put it on screen?
That's a negative, Benson. I'll see what they have to say later. Right now I've got a report to send in for our old friend Mr. Twain. And sadly, I also need to let him know what happened to his daughter.
As you wish, Commander.
I am glad to see that pretty much everything looks the way I left it, and we've still got plenty of power left, so that's not going to be an issue. Okay, right, Mr. Twain, where do I start?